in example 7, they're asking us to rationalize the denominator for each of the following functions. Rationalizing a denominator just means that we turn the denominator into a form that is rational, right? We don't have any square roots at all. So that's the main goal, just getting the square roots out of the denominator. So like for our first example, we have 8 divided by the square root of 2. Now this is an expression. It's not an equation, so we can alter it, but we can't really change exactly what it is. Our only option, if we're dealing with an expression, is to multiply it by 1. But we have control over what that 1 looks like. So in this case, the square root of 2, we can change that to a 2 if we are to multiply by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, which makes 8 times the square root of 2 over 2, which 8 over 4 makes 2. Or excuse me, 8 over 2 makes 4. So now we've rationalized the denominator. You can still think of this equation here as 4 times the square root of 2 over 1, although that's not necessary. For b, excuse me, we have 2 times the square root of 7 divided by 5 times the square root of 6. So again, all we're trying to do here is to get the square root out of the denominator. So I know that the square root of 6 times the square root of 6 makes 6. So that will end up getting rid of it for me. So I'm going to multiply by the square root of 6 over the square root of 6. This is going to equal, on top we still have the 2. The square root of 7 times the square root of 6 makes the square root of 42. Which we'll deal with that in a second if we can. And then we have 5 times the square root of 6 times the square root of 6. That's 5 times 6, which is 30. And so 2 over 30 is the same thing as 1 over 15. So we're going to have the square root of 42. Technically, we have one of those, but we don't need to write one of those, over 15. Now, can we reduce the square root of 42? Well, 4 doesn't go into it, 9 doesn't go into it, and 16 doesn't go into it. So I guess no, we can't actually do anything with that. So these would be how you would rationalize the denominator. In both cases, once we fully simplify it, our denominator here is a 1, technically, and denominator here is a 15. Those are easy to deal with.